Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you are on this thought-provoking world called Earth, I truly hope that you are having a sensational day, evening, or night. Welcome to my channel about one of the world's premier 3D applications. It may be in the top 10. Blender. On my channel today, I'm going to be talking about something that you will get into if you become at least an intermediate level Blender user. Today, I'm going to be using something called texture paint. But, of course, before you use texture paint, you should know how to UV unwrap, because I'm going to give an example of texture paint. Let's go. See, with texture paint, let me hide my Spider-Man. Okay, I guess I can't hide him. You see this? Okay, yeah. At least when you do texture painting, if you recognize that, that's close to the UV grid, but it's not the UV grid. It's it's called the image viewer. I wish I would have kept computer programming, because as soon as you make a selection with your editor type, it don't tell you what type you in. If I've been programming Python, at least I would have had a little highlight to let you know where you are. But we are in the image editor, not the UV editor. Now let me bring back Webhead. So, I should have said Control Z a couple times till it come back. That may be the best thing to do. No, Control Z not working. Okay, I guess yeah. I'll put it back. So, before you use the texture paint, it's best to go into UV editing. Now, if you don't know how to do UV editing, I made a video about UV editing, and there's a ton of them out there on YouTube about basic UV editing. So, I hit my I'm in a UV editor where my mouse at, or I can point to it. UV editor, right up there where my pointer is pointing to, UV editor. There you go. So, I get my figure, I hit the U key, it should call a UV mapping. You can unwrap it the traditional way, but you see it looks ugly. You can't do nothing with that. Or I can choose live wrap, nothing happened. Or you can choose smart project, you choose OK. That's a little bit better. Then I can hit smart. That's even more better. Now, you may be asking, why in the world do I need to use texture paint when I can use UV editing? Here's the reason I discovered why you have to use the texture paint. UV editing is based on something called a texture map. When I did Spider-Man, I could not find a decent texture map for him, because my leg may be longer than the texture map leg. Some figures you will not find a UV map for, and that's where texture painting comes in handy. Now, when I was beginning Blender with version 2.76, I didn't care about no UV mapping. I did dabble in it, but it was so far over my head. When I was beginning with version 2.76, texture paint, I dabbled with it, but it was still far over my head. I didn't know what it was used for. Since I know how to make, you see over here my figure, since I know how to make more humanoids looking base meshes now I care about UV mapping and texture painting, since my skills with modeling has increased to a great level. I can model basically anything I can imagine now. It's not going to be perfect, but it is a good facsimile of whatever I can think of. I can get close to how it looks. So my modeling skills, it's a little bit more advanced compared to when I was in 2.76. So when you get more advanced with modeling, you start to dabble into other things like UV mapping and texture paint. Now, UV mapping does come in handy. I heard it helps you with video game assets. I haven't gotten to the video game yet. I'm learning about Godot right now. But what do you do when you cannot find a UV map of something that you made that's unique? You have to put a texture on it. Now you can find a texture for a unique figure and slowly do all the work. And then also sometimes too, a lot of people have trouble placing those scenes. Texture paint, it takes out the mystery of using those scenes. Alright, so let me begin with this. So usually when you do, I'm gonna go back to texture paint. Okay, it's back there. You see, I cannot paint the figure. Like with UV mapping, you have to give your figure some type of initial texture. So over here, the UV, I'm at the texture paint window. I'm gonna click on new. Oops, I clicked on the wrong one. I'm gonna click on this little the new image selection. Choose new. Oh, that's gonna title it grid. Since I've been doing UV editing, I love that little grid. But you don't have to give it a grid. You can even change your colors if you want to. See right here. You don't have to be a black ground. You can change your color. But I like to use the grid. When they say blank, for the blank one, that's when you need those colors. You can choose whatever color you want. But I like the UV grid since I'm so used to it. So I've done that. Now, with that, you have to assign it a material. So I'm going to come over here to my properties menu, go all the way down to where I see that circle with the red looking circle. It's called material properties. I click on that. I hit new. Now I'm coming down in my window where it say base color, where you see my mouse at. I'm going to right click on that little empty circle. Then I'm going to choose image texture. Then I'm going to go over here, right underneath image texture. I see, let me expand my window a little bit. Just a little bit so you can see more. Move this over a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna go down where it say new and open. I'm gonna click on browse image and I'm gonna choose grid. See, I just like to use the grid just to see what it look like. So this, if I was using a UV, it wouldn't look too bad. Not much. I still have to do some work on it. And that's where image textures take out all the hard grueling work. But I just like to see how it looks. So I'm gonna come up to this window over here. I need to see my Spider-Man figure. So I want to see that. Alright, good. I got my Spider-Man. Now over here I have an image plane that I was doing, but I really don't need the image plane. I could delete that. I'm going to go back to layout. Layout. Click on this image plane and delete. Let me go back to texture paint. Now to be in texture paint, you have to be in up here where it says viewport shading. You have to choose the one. It's best to have it on the one that has the one that's close to the second circle from the right with the little pie, with the little pizza figure colored in. It's best to have it on that. But it seems like it's working when I have it on the regular shit, the solid circle. So I'm going to leave it there for now. So I got my texture maps. Now, when you're making your texture map, one thing I discovered is good to have a color palette. Good to have a palette so when you start when you start choosing different colors, you can go right to, you can choose a color palette quickly without scratching your head thinking what sort of color I should use. Now I'm going to come back up here to my texture paint image. I'm going to put it back on Spider-Man because he's the one I'm going to try to make. So, first I'm going to choose a color. I'm going to go up here. Now I'm going to stay away from these right now where it say the selections where it say draw, soften, smear, clone, fill, mask, annotate. Well, annotate, that's not a part of it. Because there's a lot of videos on these little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buttons. It's a lot. So I'm not going to discuss that. I just want to show you right quick and fast how to use this texture paint. So Spider-Man, his costume is basically blue. So I'm going to click on my paint, my color. I'm going to choose the little eyedropper. Let me click on this blue color. And you see up here, it changed blue. So now I should be able to color him in, as you can see. I'm texture painting Spider-Man as much as I can. I'm going to go around his body. Now I'm not going to do all of them. I don't have to do everything on here. I just want to do an appreciable portion of them. So I got his blue costume. I just want to get you to an idea of how to use texture paint to help you with your figures. I'm going to get on his foot. Color. So I'm just coloring his whole thing blue. Then I add the other colors in shortly. And I have it on my default brush size too. Okay. Okay, that's inside his body, so that really don't matter. But as you know, I'm just coloring everything. Let me see if everything on the outside is a little bit under his shoulder. A little bit on that arm. I'm going to hit F to increase my brush stroke size. Okay. Get under here. Some more. And up here. And also, while you're working with your paintbrush, it's best to click on the active tool where it has that little wrench and a little screwdriver. I click on that. That opens up my paintbrush menu. And right here, my radius is that circle right there. I'm gonna make it small. You'll see. See, I made it smaller. By hitting the F key, it's a little bit faster. And here's my strength. That's how much the intensity of my blue. But since he's all blue now, you can't really tell the intensity of the blue. Alright, so that's a decent job of him right there, of Webhead. Now, I'm going to click back on my color. I'm going to choose my eyedropper, and I'm going to choose this red. So I say it's good to have a palette. And for this, you're just estimating where you want. Now I'm going to decrease my strength to give an idea what strength does. See, it's a light color, it's light red. It's not heavy. I'm going to increase it back to, like 80 something or 1. So you see it's a darker, it's deeper now. That's what strength does. And I'm going to erase all of this because I want to do something. I want to make my brush very tiny. I'm going to hit F. Tiny. Right there. I want my strength to 1. Then I'm going to come straight across. Right there, that's good. Because you see where his boot at, it's an abrupt separation from the blue to the red. That's what I want to cause. Make it look as realistic as possible. Now I'm going to hit the F key again. Or I'll click up there and choose radius. I'm going to click on radius. Oh, that's large. So it's best to click on F because you get a good idea how it looks. So I'm going to hit F. I'm going to hit F again to get to a size that I want. Right there, my strip is at. Then I just go around. I'm going to hit F again. Make it tiny. Try to see where my... Oh, good. I know where it's at. Right here. Right there. I'm going to go all the way around and get that little marker. So, right up in here. And then if you make any of the small mistakes, people really won't tell. All it has to be is close enough. Close enough. See? That looks good. I need some of my blue right there too. So I can zoom out. See, and that's why it's good to have that little color picker. The eyedropper. right there. I zoom back in. So that's why, so now you see the strength of having a color palette. I don't have to try to guess and figure out what color something was. I just go to the palette and select it. Let's say I fixed that. Let me go back to choose my color. Go back to my eyedropper. Go back to I can choose the boot color red. It's done. I hit F to make it bigger and then go all the way around. Color as much of this red as I want. Color under the bottom. Now under the bottom really don't matter because nobody ever look at Spider-Man's foot. I never saw his foot on a video. Go all the way around. Okay, that looks decent. So it looks more like Spider-Man. Now I'm gonna get some more of his body. So I'm gonna hit F to decrease my radius. Let me zoom into him. Let me get that little belt part right here. It's like a little V. Right here. Goes up into a V shape. Then it goes around. I'm going to keep going around to his back. It goes all the way around. So there's that V shape. Let me see. It stop. Let me turn it around some more. It comes in like this. Then let me go up to his shoulder. I'm gonna get in that shoulder. Then come down. Alright, so all that part up here is red. So I'm gonna hit F again. Make it a little bit larger. Go up to my color. Choose my eyedropper. Then I can color all of this red. Even his face, red. All of that is red. Right there. I have to zoom in some. I have to hit the F key again. Zoom in a little. Okay. That's good right there. All of this, all up in here, is that red color. Okay, that looks sort of decent. That looks decent. Up in his neck, all of that. Let me hit F again. All of this, all to the top of his head, all of his whole shoulder. His head is red. His shoulder. Okay. Okay, it's red. All of that is red. Okay, I got that. See, look at that. It's coming deep. It's coming. And this, let me go around again. Let me see. Alright. All of this looks red. Let me go around. Getting here. Okay, that's red. Let me come down to his arm. I want to make it smaller now. I'm going to hit the F key again just to make it a little bit smaller. That looks small. Coming down here. Okay, what happened? Oh, I got hit the F. Alright, I like that size. Coming down here. Okay, I hit F again. Oh, I have to hit the left mouse button. Got it there where I went? Click on the left mouse button. Then I want to come down over here and paint in here red. All the way down. So this whole section of his arm is red. All of this is red. For Spider-Man. Oops, I made a mistake. Oh, God. So I just want to come down. Make all of this stuff red. And I got the orthographic view of Spider-Man. I get to see his back too. How does his back look? So it's good to have an orthographic view of your figure. Let me go all the way around. This is that whole glove section right up in here is red. Oops, I colored a little bit of his outfit, but I can go back and correct that. Let me see something. I don't want to go up too much. Okay, so you got to zoom in. I can handle his hands first, his fingers. Let me zoom in, turn around. The red stuff start right here. Let me zoom in. Color all of this as much as I should make it. I'm gonna hit the F key to make it a little bit larger. Okay. Okay, that looks good. Let me make the line look straight. Let me hit the F key again. F. I want to make it look straight as possible. Okay, good. That's what I wanted. I'm gonna go inside. I gotta go. Oh, now I'm gonna go to edit mode. I have to do some things in edit mode. That edit mode. So you have to do some tricks. I want to hit orthograph. I want to hit my X-ray part. Come all the way down and hide certain parts of his body. Hide. Hide. Because I got to do his arm. Hide this. Hide. Hide all of that. Now let me hit that. Okay, I see his arm now. So there I'm in texture paint. Let me go back and choose. Make sure I'm in. Take it off of texture paint. I'm gonna take it off edit mode. Go back to texture paint. That's a fault right there. So that's something I didn't like. So in texture paint, you have to look at the figure. You can't make part of them disappear. It's all there. I didn't know that. Those special keys. Let me go back to so edit mode looks like this. Texture paint mode look like this. And if I hit the A key, texture paint don't select your figure. So you have to deal with your figures in texture paint mode. Alright. I can live with that. Let me go back. Let me zoom out. Click on my picture. Get my eyedropper. Click on that blue again. And come down and clean this up. Okay, that's cleared up. So you see it's getting there. Let me zoom out. And you see it's coloring in on the left side. You see it's slowly coloring in the figures. But I said I wanted to have it on Spider-Man so I can see the guy. Alright, that looks good right there. Now, let me zoom in some more. To do the webbing, you have to do some tricks with that webbing. Now, I'm just going to do his foot. I'm going to click on this color, to the eyedropper, choose black, zoom in some more to his leg. For his webbing, I'm going to have to take that F key, make it as small as possible. You just come down and make those black webs. Oops, see, it looks too thick. You have to take that, let me look for the strength over here. Click back on this. The strength, you may have to take it down to something like 2. Now I have to type in the numbers in here. 2. Enter. You have to do something like that. So let me just go down. Okay, that looks good. And do his foot, the webbing parts. But there's another way to do this, and I'm going to get into that later. Do the web stuff. Zip, zap, zip, zap. So it's more like a form of art now. When you use texture painting, you really are becoming more like an artist, like a professional painter. And that's why it's called texture paint, because you actually painting on the guy. So you see I'm doing his foot. Now I think I'm going to wrap it up right here, because after this, the webbing part is just repetitive. And this may take up your, if you was doing him, this would take up your most time right here, doing his webs. I'm on this side of his foot. I come down. I wish it would have just a straight vertical tool, but you have to do it yourself. I wish I could make the line just perfectly straight, but oh well. Then you just make the webbing and stuff again. Hump, hump, hump. Now I'm making it look ugly. I'm just trying to speed it up. But if I was making him for an actual, you know, something I was going to put him in, I would take great care in doing this. But since it's just a demonstration, I'm just being quick with this stuff. Let me zoom out. But you see that leg, if I show this to a person, if I show this to a little child, you ask your child, your son or daughter, who does this look like? They would say, this looks like Spider-Man. And I don't even have it on my mirror yet. I'm going to put my mirror on in a few minutes. But I wish it was something that can help me make these lines straight. See, that might take out the authenticity. Because you know, I know why. Because I'm not using my tablet. I do have a tablet. I'm not using my tablet. I'm using my my mouse. And that takes out stuff. I'm using my mouse. I'm not using my my tablet with that pen on there. I'm not doing that. And before I go, I'm gonna go back to object mode. I'm gonna put it on mirror and see how it looks. Click on modifier. I do have it. Oh, I took off my mirror. Okay, and there it is. See? Not too bad of rendition. Remember, I just was playing around with that middle part. I said for the webs, but it looks like it's close to Spider-Man. Thank you for stopping by. Like I said, good people, don't give up on Blender. Don't give up on 3D, because I must admit, you see how his hair, I just have to fix the head up, but that's another day. But for me, you see, I don't stop. I've been with Blender since version 2.6, and I have grown immensely, especially in 2010. My skills as a 3D artist have grown immensely. Let me put it on regular layout mode. Alright, good, there it is. I'm gonna do one more thing too. Let me put it on let me add a subdivision to it and see how he looks. I'm gonna do a subdivision. Alright, so it's a little bit more. Wow, yeah. Why I look like that? Understand? Oh, okay. Or the subdivision don't work. But I'm gonna leave it like that. Alright, but you see, don't give up. I could go into sculpt mode and make it look a little bit more softer. Oh, there's one more thing I gotta do too. I remember in edit mode, I have to go back to here, hit Alt H, and bring him back. Now let me try something now. I guess it would be good to go into okay, there. Okay. I don't like how the subdivision part looks, but he does look a little bit more, other than them little weird spikes, he does look a little bit more organic now. It looks a little bit more organic, And it does look like Spider-Man to a high degree. So like I said, thank you for stopping by, good people. Don't stop your 3D modeling, because you see, I'm not a pro, but I have not stopped, and I will never give up. So don't you ever give up. Blender, Foundation, or my subdivision. Let me try that one, my subdivision. The Blender Foundation will never give up on you or me. So don't you give up on it. The Blender Foundation won't fail you. It won't let you down. The Blender Foundation believes in you, and I believe in you. So keep up with your 3D skills like me. And until next time, Blender family, peace.